This is for Raf, one of my closest friends back in the UK, who is doing his podcast on Mind Your Lane. And today's topic is to do with something that it's my point of view, it's my expression of interest. But we had a discussion this morning speaking about West Ham and Arsenal, and what Arsenal have done this year, what they've done the past 5 years. And in my view, in my perspective, Arsenal domestically throughout the history are bigger than West Ham. They have more Premier Leagues, they have more FA Cups, they've got, I think, a few League Cups as well. I'm not 100% about that. But my argument is that Arsenal in Europe have no European heritage whatsoever. And in terms of Europe, West Ham are a bigger team than Arsenal in Europe. If you were to look at the Conference League, I know people say it's the Mickey Mouse Trophy and all of this, but in my perspective, a European honour is a European honour. Arsenal have never won a Champions League. They've never won a Europa League. They've won one UEFA Cup Winners' Cup in the 90s, which was nearly 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago. And in my opinion, Arsenal has spent 750 million since Arteta came in, and they've done a terrible job, honestly speaking. And the discussion was that West Ham are a bigger team in Europe compared to Arsenal. I want to find out your guys' views on this video, because in my opinion, I believe West Ham, in terms of European heritage, are a bigger club than Arsenal. You can play Champions League, you can play all you like. At the end of the day, it's about winning titles, and Arsenal in Europe have never won a single trophy since the 1992. And even when the Cup Winners' Cup back then, West Ham won a Cup Winners' Cup, if you want to go back to Bobby Moore's age. But yeah, I want to get your guys' views on this topic. But in my opinion, Spurs have more European heritage, Nottingham Forest have more European heritage, Aston Villa have more European heritage, Liverpool obviously have more European heritage. And in my view, I never really had a problem with Arsenal until Declan Rice left after winning the Conference League with us. But honestly speaking, I want to find out what you guys think about this topic. Are Arsenal a better team in Europe than West Ham? Or are they not? Because in my opinion, you need to win trophies and you have to go far in competitions to get to that level. Arsenal haven't won anything in Europe in nearly over 30 years or 35 years or something crazy like that. So yeah, I know people say Conference League and all this, and West Ham, we've been through relegations, we've been through promotions. We're not a bigger club than Arsenal domestically, but when it comes to Europe, West Ham are a bigger team than Arsenal because we've won more than them. We've won a Cup Winners' Cup in the 60s when Bobby Moore was there, and Arsenal won in the 90s, and we won the Conference League. What's the point of being in the Champions League when you can't win it? What's the point of being in Europa League if you can't win it? There's no point. What, do you want a participation medal? I get a medal for you. Here, participation medal. So yeah, this is just my point of view on Arsenal and West Ham. Also, Raf was telling me that Arsenal are a bigger club than Man City. And I went to him, what? And he goes, yeah, it's because of the money and the money they brought in and how this is how they've done well. I'm like, yes, but historically, if you look at Man City in the 60s and 70s, they won league titles, they won a Cup Winners' Cup. So if you look at the grand scheme of things, it's not like Red Bull Leipzig, who was founded in 2008. This club has been there since the 1900s and has historical value. Yes, Man United are a bigger club. Why? Because they've won 3 Champions Leagues, they've got Europa League, and they've won a Cup Winners' Cup. Even Spurs, they've won 2 Europa Leagues and a Cup Winners' Cup. Chelsea, multiple Champions Leagues, multiple Europa Leagues, and Cup Winners' Cups. So, yeah, I want to get your views on this. Are Arsenal a bigger club than West Ham in Europe because they play in Champions League and win nothing? Or are West Ham a bigger team than Arsenal when it comes to Europe? Because domestically, I put my hands up. We're awful, we're terrible, we're rubbish. I think our highest finished in the Premier League has been 5th in the 90s. And then we came 6th a few years ago when we had Lingard on loan. But yeah, I want to get your views on this issue. Because in my opinion, even if you look at UEFA coefficient rankings, West Ham are 11th in UEFA Euro Christian rankings. Do you know where Arsenal are? They're 22nd in the list. Do you know why? Because West Ham have gone further in competitions in Europe compared to Arsenal. We've got to a semi-final, we got to a quarter-final, and we got to a final in the 3 years we were in Europe. So people speak about bottlers, speak about everything, but for me, Arsenal Brexited in 1992 when they won the Cup Winners' Cup, because ever since then they've won nothing in Europe. Zero. And you can say a lot about FA Cups and Premier Leagues, and by all means. But when it comes to the crunch and winning the big boy titles, the Champions League, the Premier League, which my team hasn't even touched before, you got to have the argument that West Ham in Europe are a bigger club than Arsenal. That's my opinion. Some people might not agree with it. Some people will agree with it, but it's honestly facts. It might be the third tier of Europe, but that 2-3 years ago, we finished 6th. Spurs finished 7th, and Arsenal finished 8th. Arsenal couldn't even qualify for the Conference League. And now they're calling it a Mickey Mouse Trophy because they can't, because they say, oh, it's a Mickey Mouse Trophy, we wouldn't celebrate it. You guys would celebrate the fucking Conference League. You would. I know you would. Because you guys haven't won a trophy in 5 years as well. That's a massive thing. For a club like Arsenal, which were known for winning Premier Leagues and FA Cups on a consistent basis, it's been a complete downfall since Wenger left, to say the least. Yes, you've won FA Cups, which is fair enough, fair play. But when it comes to Europe, West Ham are a bigger club than Arsenal. You look at the honours, you look at how far we've gone in competitions. And even in recent years and stuff, it's just a no-brainer. That's my opinion, honestly. Spurs have won more stuff in Europe. Man United have won more stuff in Europe. Chelsea won more stuff in Europe. If you're looking at the Big Six, outside the Big Six, there are English teams which have won stuff in Europe. But Arsenal capitulate. They fucking capitulate. Don't know what it is of Arsenal in Europe, but just it doesn't go. Who knows, they might win the Champions League this year, but I very highly doubt it. If you can't get through 10 men Man United in the FA Cup at home, good luck facing the Madrids and the proper big boys, the ones with 15 Champions Leagues, or a Liverpool with 6 Champions Leagues, or... So yeah, this is my argument, but when it comes to Europe, West Ham are a bigger team than Arsenal. What are your guys' views? Let me know, Raf.
Okay. At Team TV. Love for everyone inside. Mind Your Lane podcast. You already know. So yeah, this video responding to my guy Karim. It's my boy. Obviously, I love these kind of takes, innit? Because yeah, he's a West Ham fan, I'm an Arsenal fan, but we both know our ball. But yeah, let's just get into this one. Let's just not make it too long. So yeah, we're just having a discussion, like, you know, when teams banter, fans banter each other. I don't think I've ever had it from a West Ham fan in my life. So this one was new to me. Obviously, yeah. So what Karim said that West Ham are a bigger club than Arsenal, and at the time I was annoyed. Like, he was winding me up. I was like, what? Like, I was like, what's this guy talking about? Like, I've never heard someone say that, like, ever. So yeah, Karim will confirm this as well. Like, this is how I started. Because I responded to his story, because West Ham fans are doing this thing where they won't leave Declan Rice alone. He's gone. He left 2 years ago. Let him live. He's gone. Like, there's a reason why he left West Ham, because Arsenal are a bigger club. Whether we won the Champions League or not, where Arsenal are the bigger club. So I think how I'm gonna say this is that I feel like Karim is saying he thinks West Ham are a bigger club in Europe because they've got the European titles, whether they got the Conference League or whatever they have. They got more European titles than we got. But when people say the bigger clubs in the country, they don't go by like trophy. It's not by trophies won. It's just like, obviously trophies are important as well, but it's like, it's the fan base of the club, it's the how well known the club is worldwide. So like in different countries, it's not really the trophies. Otherwise, yeah, it's not really the trophies in it. So obviously he did say Arsenal are domestically were bigger than them, but he thinks West Ham are bigger than us because they have more European titles than us. Even though they got the Conference League, and when he said we will celebrate the Conference League, of course we'll celebrate any trophy that we get, but Arsenal as a club shouldn't get gassed over a Conference League, even if we did win it, because it's the third in line after the Europa League. So we will be happy, but we can't really talk on that. Like, we'll get laughed at. West Ham can celebrate that because they are a mid kind of table club. Sometimes they've had their years where they've been a relegation team. He said it in his video where they've been relegated and they've been promoted. I mean, Arsenal have never been relegated from the Premier League. So how I can say this is like, yeah, it's when someone says which clubs are the biggest in England, it's not really they're not really talking about the trophy. They're talking about the size of the club, how well known they are around the world. So yeah, that's what it means. It's not really the trophies. That's why Man United are the biggest club in the world. In the Premier League. Then it's Liverpool. They've got even if social media is not always the one, but even by social media, it's Man United and Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then you can say Arsenal and Chelsea is like a debatable one. Some people will say Chelsea, some people will say Arsenal, but them two go hand in hand, Arsenal and Chelsea. Then yeah, like no one's gonna come and tell me here that Aston Villa are bigger club than Arsenal. None of us are bigger club than Arsenal. That's rubbish. So yeah, it's the size of the club. It's not the trophies. Otherwise, maybe people will say Man City are a bigger club overall than Man United, which they're not. That's complete rubbish. If somebody says Man City are a bigger club than Man United, then they must be stupid and they must be somebody that started watching football in 2010. There's no way Man City are a bigger club than Man United. You know what I mean? They've won the last 5 years in the Premier League, but that doesn't mean they're a bigger club than Man United. It's a worldwide thing, the size of the club. Man United are a massive club. They might be playing like rubbish now, but they're a massive club. So I will never say Arsenal are bigger than Man United because I'm just deluded. I know Arsenal are not bigger than Man United. There's no way. The way Man United are playing now, they're still the biggest club in the country. Just about ahead of Liverpool, but they are. So when he said West Ham were bigger than Arsenal, it really spun my head. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Like, I got love for the guy. That's my boy. But I get heated when these kind of things happen. I get heated very quickly. So for someone to say West Ham is bigger than Arsenal, I was thinking, what? It might have been because I just woke up as well. So I was just I don't know. My head is all over the place. It spun my head because these West Ham fans are just angry till now because Declan Rice joined Arsenal. He even said in his video, he said he didn't have a problem with Arsenal until Declan Rice came to us. So they're just angry, and yeah, Declan Rice hasn't won nothing yet. But there's a reason why he joined Arsenal, because they're a bigger club. You go to ask fans around the world who they know more, Arsenal, West Ham, they're gonna say Arsenal. If you ask friends around the world in America or in Canada, wherever, yeah, in China, wherever, Africa, what clubs do they know the most of in England? They're gonna say Man United, they're gonna say Liverpool, they're gonna say Arsenal, they're gonna say Chelsea, they're gonna say some of them might even say Tottenham. But West Ham is not gonna come up in the top four. Whether Karim or any West Ham fan likes it or not, West Ham will not come up in the top four of fans overseas that know their football and say, what clubs do you know in the UK? Like that. West Ham is not gonna come up. They might have won the Conference League and all that, and Karim was saying they're 11th in the UEFA rankings or whatever, but they're not a bigger club worldwide than Arsenal. You might have won more than us in Europe, but you're not a bigger club than us. Like the size of the club, you're not bigger. That's where maybe Karim has got the confusion, and maybe he's thinking in Europe they've won more, so they means they're a bigger club. It's not possible, because when it comes to signing players, the best players come to the best clubs most of the time. When, for example, when Arsenal signed Ozil in 2013, who would Ozil join ahead of Arsenal and West Ham? He's gonna join Arsenal all day long. He's not gonna overthink it. He's gonna join Arsenal if he has to pick. Like West Ham can't sign that kind of player, that kind of caliber player. They've had good players over the years. Don't get me wrong. I think Payet is the one I can think of. Payet is one of the guys that I can think of that they signed of a top quality player, but he's not as good as Ozil. He's not as good as Hazard and these people. He's a good player though. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like they would like the best players come to the best clubs. West Ham will never be able to sign a big player ahead of Arsenal. It's just not possible. Like it's not possible because Arsenal are a bigger club, Champions League or not. Even the years when we went in Champions League, players will come to Arsenal ahead of West Ham, and that's facts. I'm sure Karim knows this. We went in the Champions League for a long time, but if we try to sign a player, like who can I even say? Let's say that Lamine Yamal guy before he went to Barcelona. Say he could pick between Arsenal and West Ham. He's gonna pick Arsenal all day long. He's not gonna go to West Ham. There's no way he's gonna go to West Ham because he knows Arsenal are a bigger club. I don't even think Tottenham fans will even say their club is bigger than Arsenal. They won't say it. So yeah, without making the video too long, that's my reply. Like, yeah, it was an outrageous thing to say from Karim to say West Ham are a bigger club than Arsenal. That's what I told him. Put this in the video. I'm gonna put this on my channel and see what people think. So hopefully we'll get some comments here and see what you lot think. Drop some comments. You know what I mean? Like, do you think West Ham are a bigger club than Arsenal? Like, it shouldn't even be a debate. And then that's probably for another video. He also said that Man City are a bigger club than Man United because Man City have won the last 5 Premier League titles, all that kind of stuff. Whether they won the last 5 titles or not, they're still not a bigger club than Man United. Nowhere near. Like, Man City are not bigger than any of the. Man City are not bigger than Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. They're not bigger. Whether they won 5 Premier League titles in a row or not, they're still not bigger. The size of the club. If I ask my cousin in Canada, what clubs does he know? He's not going to say Man City. I can guarantee you. He's not going to say Man City. He's going to say Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United. He's going to say clubs like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my perspective of clubs that are bigger. West Ham will never come ahead of Arsenal in a debate of what club is bigger than. If there's a poll now, West Ham will not come ahead of Arsenal. If you say what club is bigger, Arsenal or West Ham, Arsenal will smash them out of the water. If there's a poll of who's bigger, Arsenal or Man United, Man United will smash Arsenal out of the water. I'm not biased. I'll say how it is. But when you're telling me West Ham are bigger than Arsenal, I'm thinking, what are you talking about, bro? It's not possible. It's not like you might have they won the Conference League and 2 other titles. You might we won 1 trophy in Europe. They won 3. No, like Arsenal shouldn't care about the Conference League. That's a cup that just came in the last few years. There was no Conference League before. You know what I'm saying? So, and he said we didn't win Champions League. Neither of you. We've got to a final in my time. We didn't win it, but we got to a final. West Ham have never got to a Champions League final before. Have even got to a Europa League final, let alone Champions League. So it's just mad. West Ham. Look at the players that I've played for Arsenal over the years before I get out of here. The Thierry Henrys, the Patrick Vieira's, the Ian Wrights, the Dennis Bergkamps, Robert Perez, all these legendary footballers. I'm not saying legends haven't played for West Ham, but not to the level of Arsenal. The West Ham legends are nowhere near the Arsenal legends. Nowhere near. You can give me any name you can think of. He's not bigger than Thierry Henry in the Premier League. Give me any name you want. Any name. Put me more. Give me anyone. He's not bigger than Henry. He's not better than Henry. So we've had better players. You know what I mean? We've just the size of the club is way bigger than West Ham. I'll finish here. Ask anybody around the world what club is bigger, Arsenal or West Ham. I don't even need to do a poll because I know who's going to win. Arsenal are a bigger club than West Ham. It's no debate. There's no debate. But big up Karim every time. That's my boy. It's all content. It's a debate. Put it on the channel, and yeah, appreciate him dropping what he said in there because it's content. So yeah, man. Let me get out of here, man. Hopefully we see some comments from you lot. Even though I know what club is bigger, we see some comments from you lot. And yeah, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. We're gone.